Hey audience! So this is going to be a bit of an interesting video as I'm not typically one to stray into the field of informational content creation. You see, I took a class called Introduction to Interactive Media in my first semester at college, and this guy says we gotta do a video on the material from the class. Kinda cool, I thought, especially when I remembered that I did the rest of my work in the class on speedrunning, a process in which one sets off to complete a video game or level of a game as fast as possible. In light of this bit of history of mine in the class, I thought I'd put my own little spin on the project to make it a bit more fun. So, this is Speedrunning Interactive Media, where we'll go through each week of information from the class in 15 seconds or less. Ready? Go! A professional email must have a subject, clear reason for the message, non-abrupt salutation and sign-off, and politeness throughout. You can join Slack with links provided by your professors. Once you're in, there's buttons to react with emojis, reply to threads, add your profile, make calls, and more. Use the Shared With Me tab on Google Drive to view shared items. Also, a positive presence online is very important. There are a bunch of resources for RIT students to research, including the RIT library site and Google Scholar. However, these resources may not always be true, so you gotta learn how to fact check so you don't get caught believing that Steve Burns died. You're also gonna need to know how to make bibliographies and citations, which is great because BibGuru and Citation Machine do that for you. We all know about plagiarism, but risk of dishonesty goes even further into the arts and entertainment industry. Digital assets can be held under a copyright, meaning that you must have exclusive legal right to use it. Many assets will just ask that you credit a source, but regardless, you gotta check before putting stuff in your content, or else it can be taken down by the Digital Media Copyright Act. Syntax, spelling, and punctuation, but also larger concepts, like an author's claim, their success in defending it, and the core ideas that they're trying to make. Make sure to take all of these things into account, especially in your own writing, so that the topic of choice is effectively defended and persuades your audience. Photoshop is a beast of a program that takes a hell of a lot of time to master, but just by navigating the menu bar, options bar, tool panel, and document window, as well as learning some navigation tools like zoom and pan, you can get a pretty solid start. It also lets you modify deeper settings in photos, which helps you mess around with settings like the amount of color, dithering, web snap, and lossiness. Photoshop has a panel called Layer to the upper right, defaultly adjacent to Adjustments. Using these two areas combined with tools like the Object Selection and Magic Wand, you can cut, reposition, reshape, and recolor any aspect of a photo you want. Also, typefaces come in files by family, and are usually either serif or sans serif, meaning with or without those little puffs at the end. Let's make a website. First thing you need to know is how to make things look pretty and know when someone else has failed at making things look pretty. Evenly distributed information have a consistent color palette, typeface, and graphic components like icons. Require minimal effort for a person visiting your website, like amount of scrolling. These are just a few things to make your site visually tolerable. We continue on in our website design process by defining some core aspects of our sites with what's called a style tile, which essentially plans out the theme for our site. On this page, although you may want to create multiple, you should include a logo, varying typefaces for different written aspects, a well-defined color palette, and really any other visual aspect you'd want. A sitemap is something incredibly important to the website design process. Basically, its purpose is to give us an ideological web on how everything on our site is going to connect in the scope of distribution of information throughout pages. This also gives you the chance to consider what content you actually want to put in or omit from your site before finally bringing it all together. This is where it gets real. When it comes time to make wireframes and mockups, we essentially throw together a document that shows the general placement of everything on the page of the final product while also omitting a large amount of visual aspects. Basically, in this step, we're making a blueprint to tell us later on where we want everything to go. And then we only work on the website in the background after this, sorry. Storing audio has been done in many ways over the centuries, but now it's digital and we can manipulate in pretty much any way we want without losing the original source version. This is where Audacity comes in. To edit using Audacity, you pretty much just need to know how to click, drag, and press backspace to cut out stretches of silence and normalize volumes. Editing video works pretty much in the same way today, with clicking and dragging and all that. Bring your knowledge of editing audio into a video editing software and bam, you can click, drag, and move around visual and audio aspects to make a video to whatever standards you want, though you should probably include at least a title and credits for any external assets. The basic video editing process is decently intuitive on its own, but let's look further. There are always ways to make a video look and sound more eye-catching to the audience. When editing a video, consider, have you moved the camera at all, or is everything from one angle? Do you have visual transitions between different pieces of the video? How about some ambient audio? It's a good idea to consider the future implication of current events in the media and entertainment industries, especially when it comes to inclusion. In order to stay in touch and up to date as time goes on, it's important to look at presentations at industry conferences as well as remarks from media reporting sites to get a state of affairs per se. Our final topic was different types of presenting information in a video format. There are many types of video styles, including live action, animation, whiteboard, motion graphics, typography, screencast, live streaming, and live action screencast, which this video itself actually happens to be. All of these types of videos were available for us to create for this project. However, this one specifically is now done. Welcome to the credits. Thought this would be a funny little transition. Don't know how long I'm going to make it go, but you know, I'm just going to talk with y'all for a bit. So it's currently 1:39 in the morning. This project is due at 8 in the morning, so yeah, primo. Gotta edit this all now. My legs hurt. I've been like kneeling on the ground this whole time. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I kind of enjoyed it. Didn't expect that. Thank you, Sten, for still making me do this. Just kidding, I love you. Have a nice life. Bye.